We're getting some feedback up here, Nate, some high end.
Yeah, a lot of feedback.
Hey, Victor, could you, on the monitor itself, turn down the high frequency and maybe turn that down just a skosh? That's what's feeding back. There's a high and a low frequency on the right, and then there's the main. Check, check, check. There you go, that's a little better. Thank you. Well, thank you for sticking with us through the technical difficulties. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, Dave.
As you can hear, my voice is still not 100% back, so I'm going to turn it over. I'm going to turn it over to the man, the myth, the legend, the Eric Troop.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Kind of. You can do better than that. You can do better than that. Good morning. There you go. That's what we're gonna go with. All right. We are gonna do. We're gonna do some songs with you and for you this morning. So, if you want to join us, feel free. We don't sing from our seats; we sing from our feet. So stand up and show your stuff, as they say. I don't know who they are, but they say. Here we are in this room, knowing we are one. Together we will always be messengers of love.
Wherever we go in peace.
Wherever we go in peace. Wherever we go in love. Wherever we go, we are one. Wherever we go in peace. Wherever we go in love. Wherever we go, we are one.
Sing it out loud.
Sing with us. Wherever we go, wherever we go in love. Wherever we go, wherever we go, we are one. We are one. Rinse, lather, repeat. Wherever we go in peace. Wherever we go in love. Wherever we go, we are one. And just when you start to get that down, we're changing things on you.
Holy, holy, holy.
Holy, holy, holy. I am. Holy, holy, holy. I am.
Let's hear the crowd sing. You sing to us. Holy, holy. I am. Beautiful. Everybody sing and take it to church, Eric.
Holy, 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 holy. I am. Holy, holy, holy. I claim my power to change the world. Change it with love. Change it with love. I claim my power to change the world. And so it is. And so it. I claim my power to change the world. Sing with us. I claim my power to change the world. Change it with love. Change it with love. Change it with love. I claim my power to change the world. I claim my power to change the world. And so it is, and so it is, and so it is.
I claim my power.
I claim my power to change the world. Claim my power to change the world. Change it with love. I claim my power to change the world. And so it is. And so it is. Wherever we go in peace. Wherever we go in love. Wherever we go, we are one. Wherever we go, we are one. Wherever we go, we are one. We are one.
Welcome, everyone. Daniel, am I up?
Welcome.
How about now? Dun, dun, dun. Those crazy sound guys. So our sound technicians are on the beach right now in Thailand. The production team got an email from Claire a couple days ago, and she was lamenting how much they were suffering out there on their warm, sandy beaches in Thailand, right? And they wish they were here for the single-digit temperatures we're currently experiencing. Of course, they said nothing of the sort. Knowing Claire, it was all business, right? You are at Unity Community of Central Oregon. I am Nate Hitchcock, and I want to welcome you aboard Unity Flight 126, right? Non-stop service from here to oneness. I will be your flight attendant on your spiritual journey today. Lots of beautiful faces in the plane. Just want to settle into your energy this morning. And I'm going to ask you guys to settle into your energy this morning. Perhaps you're not in it yet. Perhaps you're still on the drive over. Sitting in your car this morning, waiting for it to warm up while you wonder if your fingers are going to freeze off. Anybody have the outdoor car? Yes. Why are we settling into this energy this morning? So we want to settle into what it is we're here for today. And you guys are here for a lot of reasons, I'm sure. But I want to let you know, if you're in this room, you're on a spiritual journey. You may not know it yet. But if you came here today, you're definitely on a spiritual journey. You may have been out there in the world witnessing the ever-increasing separation, division. We've got 70-something new laws in the books this week that seemingly are oriented towards separating us from one another. But we come here today, yes, to practice the opposite of that. Because I can assure you that that's not going to help us. That's not going to help us get to where we need to go as a species, as a planet. The division is definitely not the answer. And at Unity, we practice this crazy thing called oneness. where we worship the fact that we are all from one planet, we're all one species, we're all in this together, and that we're all of one God, and that we are in fact God. We're going to go through all sorts of crazy stuff here today. The amazing Cylvia Hayes is in the house. Going to be talking to us about a crazy subject called prosperity. Our current administration basically is in power today because they ran under the platform of, are you better off today than you were 4 years ago? And then the answer to that question was apparently no, financially speaking. Has anybody gone to the grocery store lately? Yeah? So the woman who I'm betrothed, I'm trying to get away from this my wife thing. I talked to you about this whole my thing in the world. Texts me and say, hey, I got to go grocery shopping. What's the budget situation? I'm like, no problem. I just filled up the account. Just you get what you need. We're good to go. And then I pick up some burritos on the way home from work yesterday, and it's not going through. Hang on, what? Holy cow! Right? Expenses are up. Yes. COVID happened. Somehow the campaign managed to make us all forget, the voting public forget that we had a pandemic between now and 4 years ago, which drastically has altered the financial situation of this country. And Cylvia's here to talk to us today about prosperity, and let's look at it from a different level, perhaps not from our bank account balance and the fear that perhaps induces. Yes, and I can't wait to hear what she has to say. Personally, I have some mega speaker envy around this one, maybe a speaker crush on Cylvia and her amazing talks here. If you said we had to have one speaker from here on out, she's definitely on my short list of candidates. Oh, crush. Let's read our mission statement. I love this mission statement. Anybody else love this mission statement? Yeah? I think it's a fantastic way to orient yourself, to help us work against this separation that we're facing. I think it's amazing. Let's stand together. We stand together to create a global ecosystem of unity, deep wisdom, and loving kindness. All right. So we talked about settling into our energies. You guys have noticed that peace has a different vibration. Have you noticed this? If you spend enough time meditating, you start to realize that peace has an actual vibration. It has an energy to it, as opposed to maybe when you're winging around one of the roundabouts and somebody cuts in a little early. That energy is vastly different, yes? Somebody says something to you in line, and that energy is very different. And you can stop, close your eyes, take a deep breath. Let's do that now. Let that out with a big ah. Let's do that again. Ah. If you go inside your body, you actually can feel that vibration change. Let's just settle into that vibration of peace right now and oneness. It's very different, yes? The good news is you can practice that any time you want. Our interim lead minister, Reverend Ruth, has been here a couple times now. Has anybody had a chance to spend some time with her? Yeah? Is anybody as impressed with this amazing being as I am? Yeah? Our fearless leader now, we're being led by someone who is definitely operating on a higher plane. I can attest to this. I've spent 2 big meetings with her and a couple small ones, and I've talked to other people who have spent other meetings with her. This woman is operating on a much higher level. She has done the work, and she's able to interact with her fellow humans in a way that brings out in them their own higher level of consciousness. Yes? I think it's amazing, and I am blessed to have her here. But she suggested that, while we're out there in the world, this oming technique, as if I play with the om, So I've been playing around with that out there as just sort of daily practice, especially when you're out in the world and it's challenging you. You can settle back into that inner peace at any time you want. This is just a practice session here. The real work is out there. Take it out there, and we'll talk more about that at the end of the service. But settle into that energy of peace as often as you can this week. And let's do that right now while we greet our neighbors. Let's take a couple minutes. I'm going to go ahead and release the safety belt sign. And you guys can head about the plane and say hi to one another. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you.
Good morning.
Good to see you. We'll see you soon.
24 hours. Gee. Eric, good to see you.
Likewise.
You guys sound great. All right, passengers, let's go ahead and return to our seats. Ladies and gentlemen, the captain has illuminated the safety belt sign. Please return to your seats so we can resume our journey. I don't know why that's so effective. As I always like to say, this community is 100% volunteer run, save for a couple paid positions. It's happening here because of volunteers. Every chair you're sitting in is in this position because a volunteer put it there. This floor is clean because a volunteer vacuumed it. These lights are on, there's stuff on the screens, my voice is being projected over these mics, all because of volunteers, and I want to give those volunteers a round of applause right now. Let's thank them. And I always like to remind you, this is a, what's that? Oh, well, we could, oh, that. What? Anybody new here? Anybody new here who's thoroughly confused about what's going on? So we like to call ourselves a wool sanctuary, a wild soul sanctuary. Here to practice those crazy things like oneness, right? We're crazy enough to feel that that's a possibility. Yes, this is our goal. Thank you, Diane, for the reminder to howl, to let it loose. Okay, so Rochelle mentioned last week that parents are away. Yes, that your parents have gone on vacation and we're home alone, and we get to control the stereo. Put our own music on. Anybody do this when the parents would go away on vacation? See, I didn't have a cool stereo in my bedroom, but my parents had a cool stereo up front, and so when they would leave town, yeah, I see it right here. Yeah, turn it up, blow the speakers out, put music on they wouldn't let's listen to otherwise. We're kind of doing that here. Anyway, Kevin or Claire are in Thailand right now, and so the rest of us are a little bit more amped up, a little bit perhaps, while we try and fill their shoes, and forgetting things like we are a wild soul sanctuary, and to howl, yeah? Yeah? What? Perfect. All right, okay, we're volunteered. Yes, we got volunteers. Okay, chair. It's going to be one of those days, guys. This is our chair of remembrance. This chair is here so we can place those who are not able to be with us, either because they've passed on or they're not able to be here today for physical restrictions, or perhaps they're a variety of things. Let's move on. Land acknowledgement. We also like to acknowledge that this land has not always been our land from sea to shining sea. This land was previously occupied by some beautiful Native Americans. The Wasco, Warm Springs, Klamath, and Paiute tribes that we know about occupied this beautiful land, and we'd like to acknowledge that fact. And we want to express our gratitude to them for the beautiful stewardship of this land prior to our coming here today. And now, this is one of my favorite spots. Celebrations. Celebrations is the time where here at Unity we like to do the opposite of what you're seeing on the television and the news feeds and the media streams, which is talk about how bad everything is, which I kind of dove into a little bit here at the beginning, so I apologize for that. Now we're going to do the opposite of that because we believe that what you dwell on will expand and grow in your life. And so we're going to dwell here for a little bit on what we're celebrating, what we're happy for. So, do we have any Utes who are going to come pass their microphones around? I got one right here. Can I have a second one? 2 Utes? I need 2 Utes. All right, so it's a 1 Ute day. Oh, there's the second Ute. We got 2 Utes. Okay. How are you guys with left and right? You guys know your left and right yet?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay.
I call this side.
You call that side? Okay, which side is that? That's your left side? It's your left side? I guess it depends on which side you're looking, huh? This is that 360 issue. All right, so you're going to get that side of the room. All right, so these guys are going to come to you. If you want to say what you're celebrating here on these microphones, hold your hand up real high because they're a little short and they can't see over these chairs.
I'm Kathy, and I'm celebrating when I change my thoughts, beliefs, and perspective, the world changes around me.
All right, hallelujah. Woo-hoo. There he is.
Hi, I'm Randy, and I'm celebrating that about 2 months ago now, I found in this lifetime, came back together with Julia, and I'm just so thankful for every minute of every day. It's just been tremendous. She's a great partner, just so lucky. Thank you.
All right. Love is always a good celebration.
I'm Lorraine, and speaking of Ruth Miller, yesterday I took her webinar, her class on the 5 principles, and I've been in Unity for a long time, but this was a refresher course like none other. Ruth is an amazing, amazing person, as you've said. If anybody's interested in any of her courses, RuthLMillerPhD.com, and she has courses on there. And I've known Ruth personally for years, and she's beyond words.
Yes. I feel like I evolve a little bit when I'm in Ruth's presence. If you have the opportunity to spend some time with her, do it. You will evolve rapidly. What are we celebrating?
I have a few celebrations today. I'm celebrating this community every week. It just brings me back into my heart, cracks me wide open in a gentle way, hopefully. I'm also celebrating I started work as a mental health practitioner at St. Charles. I'm so excited. And I got my downhill ski gear outfitted, so I'm excited about that too.
I'm Dave. I hope everybody's doing well. I'm celebrating just winning. And tomorrow is the first day of a 10-year holiday called the Chinese New Year. And this is the last day of being a dragon. I'm a dragon, so tomorrow's the first day of being a snake. Any snakes in the room? All right, awesome. In China, they come up and tell you not Happy New Year, but they say Gongqi Fai Tai. And everybody says that to them. And it doesn't mean Happy New Year, it means I hope you become rich. So Gongqi Fai Tai.
Gongqi Fai Tai. Yes.
Good morning, everyone. I just wanted to say how proud and how grateful I am that there's a community of people that is out here to fight the good fight, to live the life that is the magnificent people that we are. I also wanted to share that I know. My life completely ended with the death of my friend. My life changed. My life, every single thing of my life was over, and not just because of the death. So I moved up here about 4 or 5 months ago, and I manifested so hard, so true to my beliefs that, thanks, that I was able to work hard, work with God, work with the universe, work with the people around me, that I now have a home here in Bend, and I am so thankful. It's been a hard road, but I'm ready. And now I can be here, I can do the classes, I can be part of the community. And you know what? I am a light, and so are you all. So let's just show every bit of what we have, because we are magnificent, each and every one of us, whole, perfect, and complete, just as we are. And I just want to say thank you.
Amen. We don't have any rules here at Unity, but one of them is you're allowed to cry, and that is okay. Tears are good. Jeremy. We have plenty of Kleenex.
My name's Jeremy, and that was really loud.
Jeremy, it's okay to cry.
So I got a job at Fred Meyer's. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know if everybody's noticed that there's a billboard out there that is called Community Connections. So if you have a business or a business card, put it out there so we can all know what everybody does, so maybe we can all just support each other in whatever business that we do.
All right, I'm celebrating today the second week of the yoga here at Unity, and how special it's been to see some familiar faces. So it's very, very, lots of gratitudes for you all. So, and this week is going to be even more special because I'm sharing the yoga and at the same time celebrating my birthday. So you're all welcome to come and celebrate with me. Thank you.
Okay, so I've got both my kids here. Is it okay if they both go? Okay.
I'm celebrating because I help my brother build like boards and house out of cushions and that stuff.
You don't want to do it again? Okay, the youngest changed his mind.
Who's celebrating cushion forts? Huh? The couch cushion forts? Yes?
So I'm celebrating the last few months I've been working on trying to love myself better and take better care of myself. And so I've been going to the gym and working out several times a week and going on long walks several times a week. Started going up Pilot Butte recently to gain some stamina. It's been years since I've been like hiking a lot, and so I wanted to get back into that, and I went on a community hike with our group yesterday. And I was a little bit worried about towards the end of the hike, you have to go up a really steep area, and I actually didn't really struggle at all going up it, and so it made me realize how much work I've done the last few months.
Yeah.
And I also wanted to give a shout out to Truman because I've been going to his yoga each week too, and it's the first time I've ever attended group yoga sessions, so it's been a lot of fun.
All right.
I'm celebrating that there's so many celebrations, first off. That's wonderful. Celebrating the walk that Suzanne and Anne-Marie organized yesterday. Beautiful. I am also celebrating that we have a Redmond women's group that Sonia Massey is putting together. Just contact her and you can join us in our happiness up in Redmond.
Excellent. William.
I'm celebrating that this time next week I'll be in Lee's Summit, Missouri at Unity headquarters for the intensive. And right now we're taking a class on brain-based learning, transformational teaching. and it's transformational.
I'm celebrating that my mom signed me up for a sport that turned out to be a lot of fun.
Hi, I'm Monica, and I'm the Earth Team Coordinator, and today we have an Earth celebration. And so along the Wild Soul Sanctuary route, here is a celebration regarding the wolves in Colorado. So Colorado voters passed a ballot to reintroduce wolves into the wilderness there. And so they have recently just released 15 new wolves that they got from Canada, and they're going to be releasing, they also released 5 other ones that they repatriated from a different place in Colorado where they were killing livestock. So instead of killing them, they went ahead and put them somewhere else, so that brings the total up to 29. This is kind of controversial, so you know, but actually the wolves have only, like, I guess livestock killed 23 livestock got killed last year, but they're paying farmers if that happens. So they're really trying to reintroduce the balance, because wolves actually rebalance the ecological system. When Yellowstone got rid of their wolves, the deer overran and took away and the elk got out of control, and then the buffalo didn't have enough food, and so I mean it affected the whole thing. So just we are all connected, and this just kind of is a good celebration, so I wanted to share it.
Yay to the wolves. All
Hi,
right, one
everyone.
more.
Oh, Lord, these are very, very loud right now. I just wanted to take a quick reminder that there is a moment today to breathe and be. It's there, so just listen for it. That's it. Thank you.
All right. Do we have one online? Is that what you're... Oh, Dave's got one. Dave's hiding over in the dark corner over there.
December, I celebrated 3 years post-cancer treatment. I was pretty excited. But Friday, my oncologist found a little marker in one of my tests, and I'm not too concerned. I'm pretty confident, but we're going to do some PET scans and stuff to make sure I'm still cancer-free. So it's heavy on my mind, and I'm doing okay. But I just wanted to ask for prayer and just keep me cancer-free.
I have a celebration. I'm celebrating my mom today because a few weeks ago or a week ago, I forget, we went into DC and my mom helped me do that, and she got me this origami kit, and so I'm really thankful for her.
Aww. This is what happens when you raise your kids at Unity. Yeah? I'm saying. Oh, I'm not going to go there. Okay, we're going to let that one go. Speaking of these beautiful utes, can we have the kids up here? Let's go ahead and bless these kids. And our youth directors. You guys want to talk about what you're up to today at all? Or just move on? Yeah? Okay, for those of you online, she said we're going to be looking into discovering ourselves. This is important to do. Who am I? I personally think that's the most important question you can ask. Yeah, so you guys are tackling a great question today. Sweet, let's bless these kids. So on their journey, come on up, you can do it. It won't hurt a bit. It won't hurt a bit. All right, you guys ready? We appreciate the holy gift you are. We see the divine light shining from you. May you always know what a treasure you are. May you always bring your gifts freely and fully to the world. Namaste. All right. Have fun, kiddos. It's so great to see the kids coming back to this beautiful place. All right. So now is our announcement section. Russell, yes.
The Unity Board of Directors is going to be accepting applications for 2 new members. We're having our town hall next month, and those members will be able to introduce themselves and be voted on by all of you. So if you're interested in volunteering to be on the board, come talk to me, and I'll send you some documents to get you oriented on that. You just have to be a member and want to spend some time helping organize and run our community. All right, thank you.
Sweet. Dun, 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 dun. Assisted living. Someday I would love if assisted living was available through the Unity community. What do you think? Yes? By the time I get there, okay. It's my own dream. I want some assistance with my living. All right. Assisted listening is available. There's a sign in the back here. It basically allows you to use your smartphone to connect into a different Wi-Fi system here to get the service pumped through your headphone or your earpiece, if you're so interested. Signs in the back. Scan the QR code up here on the screen. That'll get you the app and allow you to dial into that. All right. Sound bath. Every Sunday, Lisa Swisher and her team put on an amazing sound bath here where you can come and, if nothing else, have a great relaxing hour of having amazing instruments playing for you, around you, just absorbed in it. It's a fantastic event. They're here every Sunday from 6 to 7:15. Keep an eye on that time, though, because as we shift in time here in the next, I want to say about a month or so, we're going to be doing a time shift again. These times will wander around. But right now, we're 6 on Sundays. And Shriman mentioned this earlier, and I was able to attend his first one, unfortunately not the second one, but I am looking forward to being here on Tuesday to catch number 3. And that's yoga here on Tuesday mornings. It was a fairly full house the first day. How was it full again the second one? Yeah, excellent. So you guys are showing up. And we've already heard a testimonial. It's great yoga. It's super light duty. This is not like super duper, crazy. Yes, you can do this. You can do this. So if you're interested in learning more about yoga, come on down. I've been to a lot of group yoga over my life. I haven't done it in probably several years. This was as welcome and as comfortable as I've ever felt in a group yoga session. I can attest to that. And that is because of the people in the room and Shriman and his teaching. So come on down here on Tuesday mornings at 9:30 for that. Bring a yoga mat. And Esther is leading a Happy for No Reason workshop. And she's been leading 2 of them now so far? Just one so far? We've had one so far. Good turnout, good response. You guys had a great time. So we're having another one this coming Tuesday, 11:30, and that is here. Tuesdays here, and then there's another one Wednesdays online. Perfect. So if you can't make it into town for that. So fantastic workshop. I really like the idea of being happy for no reason at all. Yeah? Because there's lots of reasons to not be happy, and of course, our TVs and our phones and stuff like to remind us of all those reasons not to be happy. And they're always going to be there, and we're not going to get those to go away. So if we can be happy in spite of all that for no darn good reason, I can't think of a better way to go through life. Speaking of being happy and going through life feeling great, deep dives. So this is a raw celebratory service that we get together and sing and laugh and celebrate. On Wednesdays, we dive a little deeper, and we go into the deeper spiritual aspects of this community. And that happens on Wednesday evenings at 6. They're a deep dive service. The doors close quickly at 6:05 because we don't want any disturbance. But if you want to get a little quieter, go within, do some more meditating with your community members, Wednesday evenings is a great time to come do that. We also have, coming up, a newcomers potluck dinner. This one's at Suzanne Landry's house, who is an amazing cook, so I'm sure you will be treated to some delights there. But they are a potluck. If you're new to the community and you want to learn more about what it might be to dig in a little deeper and become a member, or other things around here, you can go to one of these meals. I remember my first one at Jane Hyatt's house with her husband. It was a fantastically great evening, and I was hooked in right away. It's amazing to sit down and break bread with people who are awake, who are loving unconditionally. It's a fantastic evening. I highly encourage it. That's this Thursday, January 28th. Go online to our calendar and you can sign up there, but you do need to RSVP for that. And then we also have, this coming Saturday, we have our Sacred Women's Drumming Circle. Yeah? Do we have some drummers in the house? I'm still looking for the person who hasn't enjoyed that. Yes, they don't exist. This is an amazingly powerful event where these women come to celebrate their womanhood and many other deep dives into, well, I'm not even going to bother because I'm not there and I don't know. That being said, my significant other is there every week and comes home walking on clouds and super open energy-wise and loving and just, it's a huge energy shift for her every month. So I highly encourage, if you are of the female variety, coming on down Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. for the drum circle for some great healing and a community with your fellow women. And we have a new membership information meeting this coming February 2nd. Look at that, it was on here after all. Okay, we're scrambling to add this to the calendar, it was already on. Claire is coming through for us from Thailand on the beach. She's making it happen. So this February 2nd, we have a membership information meeting. This is so if you're interested in becoming a member and you just want to learn more about what the process is, you can come to this meeting, and it's no pressure, no obligation, just an exploration of it. See if you want to come and permanently join us. Get one of these. Oh, I don't have it. All right, one of the cool gold name tags on, which apparently I forgot to put on today. That's one of the huge perks of becoming a member is the cool gold name tag, yes? Right. Okay. My tongue is wearing out, so it's time to move on. We also have a food drive happening here at Unity. Pickup is this Sunday the 2nd, and every other month apparently we're doing that for the Ben Food Project. So there's green bags out there, or you can bring them in any grocery bag. Basically, your non-perishable goods, you guys know what you're doing here. You don't want to bring in tomatoes. That's not probably going to be a good fit for this. So your non-perishable foods, as big of a bag as you can pack, and we will take those things to the Ben Food Project to get them where they need to go. So go ahead and bring your goods next week. Robin is going to come up here and talk to us about something super cool happening in about a month.
So we know.
Now we're on.
We're on? No.
Which one is that? One or two?
Okay, we're doing the Prosperity and Growth Committee is having the Mardi Gras, which is with the silent auction. And so on February 15th, which is a Saturday, after the Divine Healers around 5:30, we want to have a mask-making party for the Mardi Gras, which would be on the 4th. So bring your any kind of beads or feathers or whatever you want to bring. I also thought it'd be fun because it's so cold. Bring soup, and we'll have bring your favorite soup and your favorite mug, and we'll just kind of like a potluck, and then just kind of celebrate making masks and figuring out what we're going to wear for the Mardi Gras and the silent auction. Also, if you have something to donate for the silent auction, let me know so I can add it to the list. Okay? Thank you.
Sweet.
What date is? Oh, for the mask making party is February 15th. At 5:30 here. I have flyers I'm going to put out there. My printer did not work, so I had to draw them, and it's not very professional, but it's done.
All right. And
Okay.
we're going to get those into the calendar. And our Mardi Gras celebration and auction is on what day?
It's going to be on March 4th.
March 4, which is Tuesday, I want to say? Yeah. That Tuesday.
Yep.
Sweet.
It is real Mardi.
Something else happens on March 4th. Might be my birthday. We'll see. All right. So we're never done with our celebrations here. Apparently this service is not enough. So we'd like to come in and Tuesdays celebrate Mardi Gras with our new masks. All right. So I think we're all wrapped up on the announcements. Whew. It's a lot. It's a lot. It's awesome, though, because that's what communities do. They come and they hang out and they do things. If you want to learn more about any of these events, sign up for them. online. Our calendar there is well cared for by the volunteers here and Kevin and Claire. So check that out, and you can get signed up for all this stuff. Now, we get to have some really cool soul shine. Come on, guys. Round of applause for Soul Shine while they get fired up here.
People smile and tell me I'm the lucky one, and we've just begun. Thinking gonna have a son. He will be like she and me, as free as a dove, conceived in love. Sun is gonna shine above. And even though I ain't got money, I'm so in love with you, honey, and everything will bring a chain of love. In the morning when I rise, bring a tear of joy to my eyes and tell me everything's gonna be alright. Seems as though a month ago I was beta child, never got high. Oh, I was a sorry guy. Now I smile and face a girl that shares my name. Now I'm through with this game. This boy will never be the same. And even though we ain't got money, I'm so in love with you, honey, and everything will bring a chain of love. In the morning when I rise, bring a tear of joy to my eyes and tell me everything's gonna be alright. Pisces, Virgo rising is a very good sign. Strong and kind, and the little boy is mine. Now I see a family where there once was none. Now we've just begun. Yeah, we're gonna fly to the sun. And even though we ain't got money, I'm so in love with you, honey, and everything will bring a chain of love. In the morning when I rise, bring a tear of joy to my eyes and tell me everything's gonna be alright. Love the girl who holds the world in a paper cup. Drink it up. Love her and she'll bring you luck. And if you find she helps your mind, buddy, take her home. Don't you live alone. Try to earn what lovers own. And even though we ain't got money, I'm so in love with you, honey, and everything will bring a chain of love. In the morning when I rise, bring a tear of joy to my eyes and tell me everything's gonna be alright. Tell me everything's gonna be alright.
So there's a pin up here. I'm walking around barefoot. Everything's going to be all right. Yeah? Cylvia Hayes. Wait, you want this? Yeah, you want this probably, huh? All right, I'm going to invite my speaker crush up here to tell us if, even though we ain't got no money, that everything's going to be all right. Yeah. Okay. I personally cannot wait to hear what this genius has to say on the subject of prosperity and financial. Were anybody tempted by her introduction video that came out in the newsletter? By the way, if you want to get that newsletter, there's a little blue card in the pocket in front of you. You can hear the amazing introduction that Cylvia gave to her talk, both in video and printed form. But I cannot wait to hear what you have to say on the subject, and thank you so much for being here today. Big round of applause for the amazing Reverend Cylvia Hayes.
I will say normally I really don't like it when a speaker starts out by apologizing, but I have been coming off all week that bronchial thing, and talking has been a strain. So I'm hoping to get through this. And for those of you who feel like maybe I'm sitting over there to be aloof, I'm really just trying to be very respectful because I do cough still a little bit every once in a while. So, all right. When I first plugged into the Unity and New Thought movement, it was about 25 years ago now. And I was a little put off by the emphasis on prosperity and abundance and whatnot. I had some baggage from old church experience around that and my own scarcity issues. But I also was drawn to it. Now, to give you a little bit of a backstory, some of you know a little bit about my story, but I was raised a rough little farm kid up in the foothills of Washington State. Both of my parents were from Oklahoma. My father had been raised in deep poverty, and I remember him telling stories about living in a dirt-floored house. They would put cardboard up on the windows in the winter, and his mom had lost her leg to gangrene and had a really painful prosthetic. This was a long time ago. And he remembered seeing her crawl across frozen ground to try to dig turnips to feed him and his siblings. So I started hearing those stories, and my mom also had some pretty rough stories. Now, I was the first person in my ancestry not born in Oklahoma and Arkansas because my mom, they call this jumping out of the frying pan into the fire. My mom left her first husband for his younger brother, my dad. So they had to get the hell out of Dodge. That's why I was born in Seattle. And turns out my half-brother and sister were also my cousins. Yeah. So I used to love telling that story actually when I was serving as First Lady of Oregon because you could just see the audience kind of be like trying to process it. Now, when I was about 7, my very hardworking parents had saved enough money to buy a little 8-acre chunk of land up in those foothills, second growth forest, and the structure that was on it had been a hippie commune out there. This was way out in the boonies, and it was so run down that it came free with the property. It had no roof. It had certainly no electricity or running water. I mean, it really was a shack. Probably should have been raised and rebuilt, but that's not what we did. And that first summer, we would bathe in Old Man Green's pond just down the dirt road. And when it got colder, first of all, my dad strung visqueen, heavy plastic, over one section of the roof. And when it got colder, he made a wood stove out of a 55-gallon drum welded to 2 metal chair legs. And it would glow orange. It would get so hot. And during that time, every once in a while, every once a week or so, God bless my mom for all she pulled together with this because she worked full time too, we would make the 45-minute drive to the nearest town that had a public swimming pool. And that's where we all got to get really cleaned up and stuff and have a little fun as well. And every 2 weeks when they'd get paid, they'd buy building supplies, and over time, we built that little shack into something relatively livable. We didn't have a lot of money. We got our school clothes from Value Village and Goodwill, and like Kmart was a big deal, right? It was a big surprise, was a big adventure for us. So we didn't have a lot of money, but we did have a lot of richness. I mean, a lot of freedom as kids. And I learned how to do basic plumbing, basic electrical. I was driving by the time I was 9 or 10 and back in trailers, and those have been skills that have helped me through my whole life. Got a horse when I was 8, my lifelong dream at that point, and was always surrounded by dogs and cats and farm animals and all kinds of wild animals, bear and deer and coyotes and all of that. It was rich, and I loved it. Now, some of you also know this story. Addiction and mental illness took a toll on my family, and I wound up on my own at 16, and basically couch surfing in a feeling that was very insecure, very uncertain, and I was pretty much angry at the world, certainly at all authority at that point. And that's when I started, I think, to really layer on a lens of material insecurity. And that's been a process of evolving through that the entire rest of this life, and I'm delighted to say it's been a pretty successful process. I stabilized in my early 20s, and I really embarked on my own authentic spiritual path and a journey of unlearning and relearning and carving a different course in my life. And like I said, 25 years ago when I discovered unity, the prosperity stuff left me a little uncomfortable, but it also drew me because I could sense a feeling of liberation. I didn't know what it was, but I wanted it. I could feel that. For many, many, many of us, money and financial challenges, how am I going to pay the bills? How am I going to deal with that unexpected car breakdown? How am I going to give my kids or even my animals the care they need and the best? This can be one of the biggest threads of stress throughout these entire part of our human journeys. For me, it has been. It has been my biggest growth classroom. In truth, though, even when I was feeling in scarcity, I was always cared for. And I was already living a rich, incredible life, despite some of those financial challenges that are real. I'm not here to say be silly and stupid and don't pay your bills. And I'm also not here to give any financial advice. I should have said that right up front. But the lens is so important in a prosperity perspective. And I also do want to acknowledge it's not made any easier by the fact that we currently are swimming through a cultural soup that is based in and drives the message of scarcity and not enoughness, right? It tries to, billions of dollars are spent telling us we're not enough, we don't have enough, we need this and this and this and this to be happier, sexier, more effective, have more value, what have you. That's the soup that we swim in. So it takes extra spiritual discipline to be able to acknowledge the BS that is, and adopt a much more empowered way of moving through this world. So how do we do that? How do we unplug from pre-programming and a lot of false stories and false narratives and airbrushed images that we're being told to compare ourselves to? One of the first big transformations that was helpful to me, and it's a fundamental, I hate that word actually, it's a foundational unity and new thought principle, is that yes, money is an important aspect of prosperity, but prosperity is much bigger than that. And can you put up the prosperity pie image if this works? Oh, that's hard to see, but I'll talk you through it. I've been teaching ever since I became a minister, actually a little bit before. I've taught a lot of spiritual education and enrichment classes. These are classes that anybody can take, but they're classes that anyone on a unity ministerial path are required to take a number of them, and prosperity is one. And I've taught it a few times now. Being a minister is so cool because you basically get to call doing your own spiritual growth work. You know, like a career work. That's what these classes have been for me. And what I've got here in this pie, if you can see it, I've developed kind of all the areas that I would put into a prosperity spectrum. There's one more I'll add, I'll get to that at the end, but certainly money's up there, health, family, relationships, etc. We heard a lot of the different aspects of prosperity in the celebrations part today, right? Healed relationships, finding a new home, plugging into a sense of community. Now, I want to take you through a couple of these in a second, but first, here's another breakthrough that I had around prosperity. I'm going to read something from one of the books that I always work with in the prosperity classes is Eric Butterworth, and it's Spiritual Economics. And if this resonates with you, another great one is The Soul of Money by Lynn Twist. Really, really wonderful. But this is on page 15. I want you to think about the concept of substance. The word substance comes from the Latin substare, which means to stand under. There is a substance standing under everything. We're not referring just to the component parts that make up the thing, but to the non-material essence at the root of it. Today, we know much about molecules and atoms and subatomic particles. But what is not commonly known is that the focus of research is now being centered not on the minute particles of the material, but on what is called the reality of the non-material. The space between them is now considered more important than the particles themselves. In this space is to be found a field of force that holds the particles in their orbits. It is even being conjectured that the particle is not just acted upon by the force, but it is the force acting as a particle. Certainly, this has application in our relation to God. We are not just acted upon by God, but we are the activity of God expressing as us. A breakthrough in my thinking around prosperity was when I realized there's a substance from which all that takes form originates. And with our thinking, we help to shape what is going to actually manifest from this substance that is in and around and through everything. An aha for me was when I made one positive step when I went from source, whatever you call it, source, God, creator is my supplier. It's not just up to little old me. I made the next step when I said source, God, creator is my supply. From supplier to supply. We tap in and there is actually an inexhaustible amount of that substance to manifest in whatever piece of that prosperity pie we're focused on right now. Health. Health, of course, is a huge prosperity component. I've been struggling with a little bug this week. I've been overcoming a bug this week. First time in I can't even remember how long. So each of us here will have areas that we naturally have more strength in and areas that we can use a little bit of shoring up, a little bit of growth. I tend to just have a strong belief in my health. I have had more knee surgeries than you can shake a stick at. Not because I had bad knees, but because I've been kind of a daredevil with this body. And many times I've had people, doctors or whomever, people at the gym, say, hey, how's the bad knee doing? I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't have a bad knee. I have a couple of really good knees that I have put through the ringer, and they are still sound, functional, and I'm running, right? I don't say like this week, I started to, but I caught myself. One of the great things about New Thought is we learn to become more intentional, not only in our thinking, but in our language. I don't say I am sick. The word we put after I am, or the phrase we put after I am, is one of the most powerful phrases we can pay attention to. I don't say I am sick. I will say I am recovering from a gnarly little bug. That's been effective for me. The other thing I will offer, the actual money piece of this has been my greatest challenge. of all these pieces of that pie. Because I had such a naturally strong faith in the health aspect, whatever you have strength in, that you feel, you can feel that belief of, I know this is going to be okay. I know I'm going to get this manifestation in that area. You can use that feeling to help you in any of the other areas that may feel like they have a deficit. So that's a way that I was able to really turn around areas that I wasn't as strong in. Now, one of the newest ones I added actually in my last prosperity class that I taught was self-esteem, self-worth. This is because I have had a family member who many of you know, he's my nephew that I helped to raise, who had a long prison sentence, got out, was having some good success, had some struggle, he's back in prison. And it's very painful for me that, honestly, because I love him. And when I look at the totality of the reasons that he has struggled so hard, I would say his innate lack of self-esteem is probably causal. It's at the root of it. He wasn't given a very good start to build one, but this is something that we can work on. Self-esteem relates to self-worth, self-belief, that relates to every other piece of this pie. And I want to read you, let's see where I put it, another piece from Eric Butterworth's Spiritual Economics. He says, you do not see things as they are, but as you are. You will always tend to act like the person you conceive yourself to be. This is your self-image. As Emerson says, you surround yourself with the image of yourself. If your self-image is faulty, you project its limitation into every experience. Many inadequate job situations are the direct results of a self-image of inadequacy being impressed on the job experience. But you can change how you see yourself. We can change the way we see ourselves. That's in our wheelhouse. We have that power. Your story and your description of yourself is yours alone. You get to create your own narrative. And there are a million narratives that can be true. But you might as well pick a more empowering one. Now, making a contribution or purpose, that's a super important one for many of us. That's been a very, very driving, important aspect of this life that I'm having right now. And I'll tell you, I did some work a few years ago now, more than just a few, on the Global Wellbeing Lab out of MIT, and we did work in Germany, Bhutan, the favelas, the ghettos of Rio, and also way up tributaries in the Amazon, in little villages up there, by any Western definition, had no money, right? Were not prosperous. But they were in their own right. Here's what was really interesting. We were studying well-being. What makes people feel well? What makes people feel good about life and whatnot? And the thing that trickled up in all of those settings, wealthy entrepreneurs in Berlin, remote villages in the Amazon, they wanted to feel like they were valuable to their community. They wanted to feel like they were making some positive contribution. This is almost an innate human need. Here's the deal. I've had some lofty goals. Like, I still really want to have a big influence in shifting the entire freaking global capitalistic, limitless growth, consumption-driven, earth-killing economy. That's my real goal, right? I want to help us make the shift to a restoration economy that's saner, healthier, and a whole lot more fun to live in for most of us. Yes, it hasn't gotten any easier in the last little while, but hey. So I still have that big lofty goal, but life has a way of humbling us a little bit, often, and often that's not a bad thing. Because the other thing I'm learning, and it came the hard way for me multiple times, making a contribution isn't just about what we do, It's about how we be. And I got to the point where I realized, because I can be a pretty self-absorbed, I'm busy, I'm a type A, let's get her done, I'm in the grocery line, the people in front of me are slow, and I want to go. So I open to that more now. And this has been the teachings of this community and unity. The greatest contribution I may ever make, the biggest step I may ever take in helping us shift to a saner way of developing a civilization and an economy, is showing kindness to that person that I have a one-on-one interaction with, right? That is a part of our purpose. And to that end, I want to read one more thing from Spiritual Economics, and this is on page 172. Who has not exclaimed at some low moment of their life, "My life has no meaning"? This sense of meaningless is the greatest cause of depression and even of compulsive addiction in the form of overeating, alcoholism, and drug addiction. But you see, life doesn't have meaning. Only you have meaning. It makes about as much sense to say my life has no meaning as it does to stand in the dark cave with an unlit flashlight in your hand and say, "This place has no light." Jesus would say, "Let your light shine." Meaning is not to be found out there, in a job, in another person, or in a relationship. Meaning is something you release from within. You put meaning into your work, into your experiences, and into every relationship with people. Many persons find great meaning in their lives through a kind of work that would be a drag to someone else. It's not the work, but the sense of giving in which it is done. So you have meaning. We have meaning. It's not about finding meaning, right? It's about releasing our light and our meaning. Now, I always like to leave folks with these talks with some practical tools, steps that can just leave here with. One of the best prosperity practices I've taken up is keeping a blessings journal. Now, I'm a journaler anyway. I, noodle and think. This is different. This is just a little notepad that every day or thereabouts, I just write down bullet points of blessings that happened. Found a buck on the street. Got a client. Whatever. Little things. Got a free car wash when I got my car serviced. Whatever. The thing I love about this is it puts you in a lens of looking for that. If you know you're going to want to jot some blessings down, at the end of the day, you're kind of looking for them throughout the day. It's a lens. Money is called currency, right? It's about flow. That's why we talk about tithing. That's why we talk about giving. A Course in Miracles says giving and receiving are the same. The deeper I go with this, the more I see layers and layers of the truth to that. So now in my blessings journal, this is kind of new over the last year. When I'm able to give, I put that in my blessings journal. I was able to help a friend today. That's my blessing. That is another way that I am finding is helping me continue the shift from more of a scarcity lens to more of a prosperity consciousness. I love this term. It's somewhere in the Butterworth stuff. He said, just like we make a point of talking about a healthful diet or a healthful way of life, we can develop more wealthful thinking. That was a very cool term when I first heard it, wealthful thinking. And I'll give you an example. You all know I have a little border collie dog, and I do competitive dog agility with her, and I am very, very attached to this dog and the whole thing we do together, right? It's a little bit of an addiction right now. Well, the other couple weeks ago, and I still don't know how she did it, Olive, my dog, knocked just her upper front tooth. She hit it so hard on something and pushed it back to the point it was an underbite. And I was like, clearly this is going to be surgery, right? My first thought was, oh my God, what is this going to cost, right? And I take her in and I get it diagnosed, and sure enough, it's got to come out. Set that for 2 days later and get her on pain meds, of course. And it all came down to, had she fractured the root? There was a great variation in how much this was going to cost, depending upon if they could just pull the tooth or if it was going to require all that surgery. So I go to drop her off the day of the surgery. And before I did, though, I wrote in my blessings journal, I'm able to get Olive good care. I'm able to get this taken care of. Many years ago, I took a prosperity class with Reverend Jane Hyatt, and one of the coolest takeaways from that for me was when you're feeling in scarcity, when you're feeling a little shaky, imagine yourself feeling what a person of more means would do. So you see, my identity is still a work in process catching up to someone who actually does have, I don't love it, but I have the ability to pay $1,400 for my dog's surgery. It was on the high end of the scale. She busted the roots all to pieces. But I was able to do that. And I made a decision. I'm not going to go into this fearing it. I'm going to go into this knowing one way or another, I'm able to get it done. It's going to go on a zero-interest credit card for right now. And we're going to get that handled, right? I'm able to get it done. And it was, I am a person with enough means to give my dog the best. So that's a really powerful use of one of our 12 powers, imagination. Now, I'll tell you another related to this, the imagination, also related to my dog agility addiction. I have been jonesing for 3 years for this certain kind of little travel trailer that my particular car can pull, but it also has like all the amenities inside. Very hard to find at this low weight range. It's called an A-scape. And it's about $25,000. And I did not have anywhere close to that. And but I really wanted this little trailer, and I just kept taking pictures of it. There was a Facebook A-scape group that I joined, I would just daydream. I drew a little diagram of what my little trailer would look like with my little portable dog fences when I was at dog agility trials, and I kept that in my folder. There's one dealer that has these trailers in Oregon, up in Happy Valley. 2 years ago, way before I even was a gleam in how I could afford this, I drove out there to see one. I brought Olive. I got a picture of Olive in the trailer. I'd pull that up on my computer. Well, I had some surprising money come through toward the tail end of last year that I did not see coming. Family related. Never saw that coming. And I knew that winter was the best time to buy a trailer, right? Best time to buy it. Long and the short of it, there's one on the West Coast within driving range that I was driving distance. They were willing to come way down because A-scape is going to start running the 2025s in March. I got the A-scape trailer. Yes! Now, here's the other piece of this, though. This is how we're like, at least for me, speaking from the I, even when I have prosperity breakthroughs, I still have to watch that old identity. There's a term in unity called chemicalization. And what it means is when we get to a breakthrough in spiritual awareness or a new belief that somehow challenges or is in dissonance with our old beliefs, it can be a time of foment, like a time of unsettledness. Right? We haven't quite stepped into, we can sense it, but we haven't stepped into this new identity or this new belief fully. The week after I got that trailer, I woke up stressed out every single day. I was stressed out thinking about it. Was it the right move? I hadn't even tested out the water systems yet, right? Olive and I are going to Agility Nationals in Tulsa in March, and I really wanted this trailer before that. But I had just driven it back from Boise. That's it. I haven't even taken it over real mountains yet. All of this I was thinking, and it was like, I get this thing that I've wanted, and now I'm stressed out about it. And I realized I was having prosperity. And I had a few people on Facebook I posted on. People were like, oh my God, I'm so envious. I would love to have something like that. I felt so guilty, right? So I was having prosperity chemicalization. My identity had not fully gotten to, it is totally well and okay and good that I have this. It took me a while to catch that and to realize, often when we're growing, and then that little old ego wants to pull us back to where we were. Chemicalization. That's where I went to. Now, we have our first big test of this thing set up at a trial mid-February, but what I've noticed, now that the light has shifted, it's still cold out here, but the light is a little different. You can feel we're moving towards spring, right? The stress is gone, and I can't wait to get in that trailer. I can't wait for us to do our first little run. So, two more pieces that I love. Enoughness consciousness. Just doing some work on enoughness consciousness. A great American just made their transition, President Jimmy Carter. He was a model of a great life, honestly, and a model of enoughness consciousness. He could have had all the wealth, all the money. He could have had a big, fancy house. That was not his form of prosperity. He still rinsed out and reused Ziploc bags to the very end. Right? His prosperity was very broad. Very broad. I would say making a contribution in relationships way high with him. So enoughness consciousness, because again, we're swimming through a soup that wants us to feel like we're not enough. So that we'll buy stuff to fill a manufactured gap within ourselves. And the final one that I want to leave you with, this is my more recent little practical tool for prosperity in whatever of those pieces of the pie you're focused on. And that's what I call positive expects. Positive expectation. Positive expects. I literally will write that, especially if I'm feeling a little shaky. I'll write it at the top of my daily list. If I'm going into a situation I don't necessarily feel good about, I will remind myself, open up some room for positive expectations. This could be so much better than we think. I really started having breakthroughs in the money front when I got more playful with it. And I don't mean frivolous. I don't mean running up credit card debt or anything like that. But I got to where I really don't, it was with the trailer. I have no idea how this is going to come about, but it is going to be so fun to see how it happens. Right? That's a really empowered way to look at it because it also opens up to it doesn't have to happen a certain way. There's myriad ways for things to manifest into our lives in positive flow. So to close, I want to leave you with that piece that I shared. I would now add one more section to the pie, and that is hope. Because right now, we are living in the midst of some hard things and some hard times and the separation dynamics that Nate mentioned earlier. And it can certainly feel like it's out of our control, and some of it can feel a little hopeless. That will affect, no matter what, our consciousness around prosperity, health, anything else. I'm not so sure that my sickness is not because a certain thing happened on Monday. I'm just saying. Hope is not about pretending that dark and troubling things are not happening. It's not about ostriching and putting our head in the sand, about pretending that there aren't dark things afoot in the world even, but rather hope is trusting that those things won't last forever, that there are many more possibilities for good to emerge out of that substance than what seems obvious in the moment. Spiritual abundance often arises through pressure and challenge, and that is in both the personal and the collective aspects of our existence. You are a spiritual being having a human experience. That's just a trip in and of itself. You're a spiritual being having a human experience. You are connected to the all that is, creator, source, God, whatever your word for it is. That creative force that is behind all things, you are directly connected. You are an extension, an expression of that. Source literally is your supply. You are worthy. You are enough. You are worthy of good. Go forth and prosper. guys. Such an easy crowd.
See why she's my favorite? Yeah? Soul Shrine's coming on up to explain, to show us why they're our favorite band. Come on, Soul Shine.
That's life. That's what people say. You're riding high in April, shot down in May. But I know I'm gonna change that tune when I'm back on top in June. Whoa, that's life. Yeah, funny as it seems. Some people get their kicks stomping on your dreams, but I won't let that get me down, 'cause this old world keeps spinning around. I've been a puppet, a pauper, a pirate, a poet, a pawn and a king. I've been up and down and over and out, but I know one thing. Each time I find myself flat on my face, I pick myself up and get back in the race. That's life. I can't deny it. I thought of quitting, but my heart just won't buy it. If I didn't think it was worth a try, I'd roll up in a big ball and die. Playing Magic Fingers. I've been up and down and over and out, but I know one thing. Each time I find myself flat on my face, I pick myself up and get back in the race. That's life, yeah, yeah. I can't deny it. I thought of cashing in my chips, but my heart just won't buy it. If I didn't think it was even worth a try, I'd roll up in a big ball, yeah, yeah, and die. That's life.
Who loves this place? No? Nope. Who loves this place? Eric, Dave, holy cow. Well done. Cylvia. Happy trailering to you. It is super fun, and shit's gonna happen, and that's the best part of it, right? You've all heard the Kubota's tales of their journeys out there in their RV and all that jazz. That's the coolest thing about jumping out in those things, because stuff breaks, and that's half the fun, is figuring it out. If you want to meet people at a campground, open the hood of your car, right? They're going to come say, how can I help? It's just something about that whole scene. Donna, are you throwing an audible? You were fluting before, weren't you? No? She's throwing an audible. For the non-football people, that means you basically call a new play at the last second. And Donna's pulling that off because she's great at the improv. Donna, let's hear what you got. She's going to lead us in a beautiful meditation. Yes.
Okay, so I'm shaking, which is great. Prosperity is about
pushing yourself past your comfort level. Prosperity is about going to the depths of your beauty and sharing it, okay? That's your prosperity. Have you close your eyes right now. One of the things I'm scared of is playing piano in public. I've done it before, but it scares me. So I encourage you to do what scares you. So we're going to go on a meditation today, and it's very relevant to everyone who's sitting in this room. I want you to breathe into your belly, and your solar plexus, and your heart. And I want you to just think about, breathe into the blessings in this room in the form of these spiritual beings who are on a beautiful path together. And as you're thinking about these beautiful beings, you can focus on somebody who brings a blessing in your life. Maybe they brought you a cup of tea. Maybe they took a hike with you when you were feeling down. This morning, my friend came out with the ice scraper because I didn't have one in my car. We never know where the beauty and abundance is going to show up. So feel that into your beingness. How blessed are we? I'm still vibrating from Eric's song, right? How blessed are we? So as you listen to the piano and as you think about the beauty in this room, know that you created that. You are that. That is why you are seeing it in front of you. And then I'll just give you a little bit of an assignment as you're meditating, after your meditation. Whatever quality it is that you see in someone else, practice that quality this week and see what happens. blessing in your life. Welcome back. Breathe into your belly and see the mirrors all around this room.
Before the song?
Yeah, yes.
Okay. So, for anyone who doesn't know, one of the great things about unity prayer is it's not a prayer about beseeching to a God out there. It's a very empowered prayer. We call it a prayer claim. And if you'll notice in the back of the chair before you, those little green forms, those are prayer claim forms. And if you want, Dan's holding one up. You can claim for yourself, you can claim for anyone, the world, whatever. But put down on there the good that you are wanting. And if you want, you can put, you can put your phone number or email, and our prayer team will pray over those and actually send you a personalized response. I happen to love that because when I put in a claim for someone else, I have our prayer team email it to me and I forward it to that person. And I've just had wonderful responses to that. And then all of those prayer claims get shipped to Silent Unity at Unity Village, and they get prayed on for a full 30 days. So it's a lot of empowered, activated energy around whatever form of prosperity you might be wanting to pull in and manifest. With that, I also briefly want to share that one of the founders of Unity, Charles Fillmore, calls prayer the highest form of mind action. And that prayer is not about changing God's mind, it's about changing our own. So take a moment, drop in, continue that meditative space that Donna helped us open into. And clear space on the altars of our minds for the infinite field of good, for direct access to spiritual substance. Whatever's in your heart, whatever challenge you might be facing, someone you care about's facing, the challenge is facing this country, this planet. We hold those in a loving, energetic embrace. And we affirm that in the field of possibilities, it is possible for good to come, addressing each of those aspects beyond what we can even imagine. We affirm unity. We affirm an explosion of kindness across this globe. We affirm healing individually and collectively. And we claim that for each of us here and online, that these prayers will land with each of us just perfectly for us to take our next step in spiritual awakening and for us to walk through any doors shining our lights more brightly than ever before. Knowing that this good is divine order, we claim it now and say thank you, and so it is.
Let's sing the prayer song. Breathe in and know I am. Be still and know I am. Let go and know
Thank you. Thank you. And you guys are awesome too. Now's the time in the service where we get to participate in the flow of prosperity, the prosperous flow of this community. Obviously, this community can't happen without currency, the flow of current. It will be a stagnant place. And we're going to do that now. These baskets are going to come up. They're going to come up empty vessels waiting for your energy to flow into them so that they may flow through this entire community. Several months ago, I was in a heavy place and I was hanging out with my best friend and I said, you know what, I'd give it up all right now for some peace and tranquility in my heart. It was one of those moments where I realized that all the trinkets in the world, the diamonds, the big screen TVs, the fancy gleaming cars, all those things that the screens out there tell us are what we need to feel good about ourselves, to feel better, to feel prosperous, to feel enough. It was one of those moments where I realized that all of that is wholly pointless if right here isn't a healthy, happy, good-feeling place. And so as you flow your abundance into these baskets, you're basically taking a vote for that place here, because that's what this community is about, right? It's fostering this sense of love for yourself, for this community, for the world, in the face of great opposition to that goal. As Cylvia mentioned in her talk, everything that's coming through the giant media system, the giant marketing system, is trying to tell us that we're not enough, so we'll go out there and spend some money, because this is a capitalistic society we live in, and it's based upon encouraging us to spend money. But here we get to invest that money into love, into community, into connection, into wholeness. So these baskets are going to go out. Let's fill them up with your love and your energy, and then we're going to go ahead and bless them. And Soulshine's going to lead us in a song of prosperity and gratitude.
I got gratitude in my heart. I got gratitude in my soul. And I just want to say thank you. Thank you. I just want to say thank you. Mahalo. I just want to say thank you for it all. Thank you for it all. I got gratitude in my heart. In my heart. Gratitude in my soul. In my soul, baby. I just want to say thank you. Thank you. I just want to say thank you. Be the blessing. I just want to say thank you for it all. Thank you for it all.
From the love of pure spirit within us, we bless these gifts. We send them forth to heal, bless, and prosper. They are evidence of our faith and belief. They do good work in the world and return to us multiplied abundantly, and so it is. All right. I don't know if we're out of order or not, but this is a wonderful. I think we might be out of welcoming guests. Yeah, we usually do that before this.
That's okay.
You know, the parents are away. There's different music on the system today. This is the part of the service where we love to welcome those who might be new to the place. And perhaps they're courageous enough to sneak their hand up in there and say, hey, I'm new here, and I'm happy to be here. Any of those with us today? Anybody here for the first time or the first couple times? I see some hands up. Yes.
Kate.
Well, we want to give you a welcoming round of applause right now and say thank you for coming and joining us today. Can I talk you into perhaps introducing yourself on this particular microphone? Yeah? All right. It takes one of you to set the tone and say, hey, this is me and I'm here. Right? Is that you? And two. And then it's going to start flowing.
Hi, everybody. I'm Kate. I've been a member of the Divine Healers Group, but I am new to coming to service, and I am touched to the bottom of my heart. Thank you all for holding the space and creating this community so I can come and be here today. My son is just like beside himself. He's been looking for a community. He's like, where are the people like us? We found them.
Awesome. Thank you, Kate. We're so glad to have you.
Hello, I'm Karen Barton. This is my husband, Keith Barton. We live over on Tumalo Road, really close. So we've known about this place since before we actually moved here. It's a beam of hope. We're Unity people. We've been in Unity in several communities. So this is coming home. And we've just have a lot going on in our lives, and this space opened up, and I said, let's go to church tomorrow. So, you know, we're not really guests. We've just come to join, and it feels really wonderful. So thanks so much.
Any other courageous souls out there who want to introduce? Okay. If you don't have the courage today, there's always next week or the week after that. It begins to build in you, and it flows. All right. What are we doing now, team?
The final.
We're good? Prayer of intention. All right. This is our prayer of intention. We're going to send ourselves out in the world and say it like you mean it. Just go ahead and shine that loving light on the world as you get out there. It's not about coming here and feeling great for an hour and then going back out there and feeling like crap for the rest of the week. Take that love out there and spread it around and practice it moment by moment. All right. Holy light shines within and all around me. A presence of love that is always there. I am that presence. I am a radiant field of love energy. I am holy light. My essence cradles and guides me. I am that gift in this world. I go forth from here in joy to bless this world with my loving light. Yeah, right. Testify. Thank you, everyone. Have a great week, and we'll see you next week.